Group 2 has conducted interviews across the education, aerospace, tech, and healthcare industries. We will deep dive each professional and have drawn insights for your consideration. There were 4 consistent questions across all of our interviews. We wanted to know what was their career path and education path to their current role. And we followed that up by asking if they could give us examples of their current strategic IT initiatives and why they were pursuing those. How did they evaluate which new technologies were worth investing in? And lastly, we wanted to know what skills did they think were required for successful technology leaders in the next decade. Let's begin by hearing a little bit about Blue Origin.
Mr. William Brennan is the VP of Technology Strategy at Blue Origin, an aerospace company whose mission is to enable people to live and work in space. Mr. Brennan got a bachelor's in economics and then began working at various companies, one of which was Blue Cross Blue Shield. At Blue Origin, Mr. Brennan oversees software and data aspects of the company, except the rocket hardware. This includes finance, accounting, procurement, website management, customer relations management, and more. Mr. Brennan, to be successful in his role, implements a mix of hard and soft skills and says curiosity and flexibility are key. Currently, Blue Origin is working to develop AI in all of its operations, viewing it akin to electricity that powers all business processes. However, to assist AI in their operations, they need to develop their own, as general AI, like ChatGPT, utilizes information available on the internet. To develop their own systems, they work on a two-step process. First, feed structured data and unstructured data, like Word files and emails, into the AI systems. 2, train AI to perform specific jobs, such as those of mechanics or analysts. Then, using their trained AI, they develop agents who have specified knowledge on a certain job. Mr. Brennan doesn't stop there. He has a team dedicated to seeing emerging technologies and how they can be implemented in their processes, experimenting at the edge. They leverage technologies that transform business models, making space travel cheaper and more affordable, such as designing rockets that can be reused like airplanes, increasing accessibility for the general public.
Aaron Harnley is the Chief Technology Officer at Amplify. In short, Amplify partners with school systems to provide digital education services and curriculums focused in math and reading skills, but chiefly they provide data insights into student reading abilities. Aaron started with a degree in neuroscience, but his master's in comp sci and language processing put him in position to be a developer at an education startup in 2008, and a CTO at Amplify in 2015. He got there through working up the chain, but says being a technologist who could speak to other non-technologists made him valuable to Amplify. I asked Aaron about AI in the classroom, and he notes that trying to find use cases with 30 humans in a classroom where AI still provides pride and joy to be shared without taking control can be tricky. Additionally, school systems are slow to adapt with 5 to 7 year long contract lifetimes, but his team is interested in how AI can be leveraged to utilize ambient classroom data to give teachers educational and supportive action insights. Aaron takes the perspective that CTOs are strategic in nature, and the day-to-day requires strong skills in negotiation, leadership, and critical thinking. Currently, Aaron is restructuring the company hierarchy to reduce internal competition for technology funding and to enable more autonomy. However, soft skills are not all. A fundamental understanding of a core IT concept, such as data structures and project pipelines, is essential to coordinating effectively and to avoid falling prey to being sold on new technologies that are not yet ready for implementation.
Michael Gulob is the CIO at Merck. He began his career in application development and evolved through analytics, machine learning, NLPs, deep learning, and now generative and genetic AI, reflecting a long-standing interest in artificial intelligence dating back all the way to college. When evaluating new technologies, he focuses first on organizational needs, ROI, risk, effort, complexity, and the time to market before diving into deeper analysis. He believes the future technology leaders must integrate both technical and interpersonal strengths, noting that hard and soft skills increasingly overlap. The leadership philosophy centers on anticipating the broader impacts of technology decisions not only on users but also on populations indirectly affected by large-scale AI systems. For graduate students entering AI or digital transformation, he emphasizes becoming well-rounded by understanding the business problem, staying current with technologies, and developing emotional intelligence. Demonstrating balanced capabilities plus arriving with a thoughtful 30, 60, 90-day plan positions emerging leaders for success in interviews and early career roles.
Following Ben, I will now summarize Mr. Curry's CIO at BioCare's background, BioCare's mission, and the key leadership insight from our interview. Mr. Curry holds a master's degree in management information system and follow a strong career progression from analytics to ERP and ultimately enterprise IT leadership. With over 20 years of experience, he developed a deep understanding of how data, system, and technology enable business performance. This foundation preparing for his current role as Chief Information Officer at BioCare. BioCare is a specialty pharmaceutical services organization focused on oncology, retinal, and blood disorder therapies. Given the high value and sensitivity of these treatments, BioCare relies heavily on technology to ensure compliance, accuracy, and secure patient care delivery. From a leadership perspective, Curry emphasized several critical lessons. First, IT strategy must always align with business objectives. Second, technology investments require strong value and risk discipline. He also highlighted that while cloud first models improve agility and scalability, they introduce new business continuity risk. Finally, he stressed that successful leaders commit to continuous learning and mentorship to remain effective in a rapidly evolving technology landscape.
Joel Nyland is the CEO of Solution Street, which is a Herndon-based software consulting firm. Joel has spent more than 20 years building business systems and balancing the two worlds that he loves, which is hands-on technology and the leadership side. His career spans founding two different startups, serving in senior roles at VeriSign, and earning both his undergrad and graduate degrees in information systems from George Mason. As Joel put it, his path has made him a technical business guy or a businessy tech guy, however you want to look at it. At Solution Street, Joel oversees a senior leadership team and follows a simple approach to performance management. So employees set their own technology and consulting goals, which gives them room to experiment, but still maintain accountability with their workload. A theme throughout our conversation was communication. So Joel's hiring philosophy centers on pairing great engineering talent with strong communicators. The company motto is great engineers plus great communication equals successful projects. Joel also shared some of the notable digital disruptions that he has navigated in his career and what he's excited about right now. The biggest game changer was the proliferation of open source technology. He said 20 years ago, you had to pay millions of dollars a year to get licensing, and now you could build your own startup with the same technology for nearly free. And so that's the big game changer. It opened up the opportunity for anyone in the world to start a tech company of sizable nature without sizable capital. With AI, what excites him the most is being able to do more efficient and intelligent things with messy data. So he described that as voice, handwriting, text that's not categorized or labeled very clearly, free text. And finally, Joel's advice for students is to strengthen those communication skills and commit to lifelong learning because in tech, the learning never stops.
Having summarized the interview insights, we now turn to analysis of the factors shaping these leadership approaches. As Arthur pointed out in his interview, William Brennan's educational background is a key driver of his effectiveness as a technology leader. We can see how his foundation in economics combined with an MBA gives him a discipline and a value-driven mindset. He evaluates technology not just for innovation, but for impact, cost efficiency, and strategic alignment. This education allows him to make confident, mission focused decisions and ensures that advanced technologies like AI directly support Blue Origin's business and long term goals. There is no single path to leadership roles. While each individual follow a different educational and career journey, a common factor across all of them is having some form of technical education, which supports your professional advancement.
So, as we look across, again, the five technology leaders that we interviewed, we have CEOs, CTOs, CIOs. As Jesse said, one thing becomes clear that there's no single path. And so each executive has taken a different route and they're really shaped by their unique industries and specialties. So the work experience here spans startups, healthcare companies, the education space, technology companies, and consulting firms. The common themes that stand out, the leaders we spoke with emphasized the importance of balancing the strong technical skills with the ability to communicate, guide teams, and think strategically. So again and again, that continuous learning came up in their work experience. And so we've seen these leaders talk about adapting to new technologies, navigating the various digital disruptions, developing the business skills needed to lead organizations through change. The Aaron Harnley quote about needing technologists who can speak with non-technologists is pretty compelling, and it's similar to some of the other communication anecdotes we got, including from Joel Nyland. The through line for all the executives was that success in tech leadership today requires both that technical depth and then the softer skills to bring people, strategy, and technology together.
Across all interviewed CIOs and technology executives, several shared skill sets emerged as essential for contemporary technology leadership. Foremost was the capacity for continuous learning, reflecting the rapid pace of advancement in AI, cloud computing, and emerging digital tools. Equally important was communication, the ability to translate complex technical concepts for non-technical audiences and align innovation with organizational strategies. Leaders emphasized strategic thinking, highlighted the need to assess technologies through business value, risk, and long-term impact rather than novelty. Human-centered leadership also surfaced as an underlying unifying theme, with executives stressing emotional intelligence, cross-functional collaboration, and the ability to guide teams through uncertainty. Systems thinking and technical fluency, particularly in data, AI, and cloud architectures, were considered foundational. Collectively, these interviews illustrated that effective CIOs must combine technical literacy, strategic insight, and people-focused leadership to drive responsible and impactful digital transformation.
AI is being deployed differently due to the differences in business models. For Amplify, a company whose work is to improve the education of K through 12 students, AI is difficult to implement. As the CTO said himself, classrooms are slow to change, and he fears that they will not be implemented, AI won't be implemented fully. Here, Amplify's implementation seems to be more cautious, not replacing the teacher, teaching students dynamic, rather allowing students to utilize AI tutors and giving teachers suggestion bots to improve teaching. In contrast, other companies seem to be more keen to implement, however, differ on approach. BioCare is more interested in purchasing a proven AI solution rather than developing its own. Blue Origin is strongly pushing AI across its company to develop AI agents with specified tasks. Merrick is in the process of developing AI. However, first, they need to unify the data across their legacy systems. Each company is working to find the best fit for them to utilize AI in their processes. We can also see the market they are operating in affects their ability to implement AI. Amplify's greatest difficulty is the fact that they're working with public schools, which results in long procurement cycles. BioCare is interested in AI, but doesn't want to risk the money on a flop and would rather outsource. The key difficulty with Merrick is the lack of unified data. So they need to take the step of improving their data structure before they can even go about implementing AI. Blue Origin from all the companies seems the most driven in its utilization. All in all, we can see the hurdles and difficulties companies face in its implementation come from one, the market they are in, two, the resources available to them, and three, the dedication to its implementation.
So, through these interviews, a clear picture of leadership and decision making has developed for us. Today's leaders must act as translators who are fluent in both technical depth and business acumen. They need well roundedness with strong technical foundations that provide the necessary framework for approaching their responsibilities. However, they need soft skills that now dominate these senior roles: listening, cross functional communication, ethical reasoning, and the ability to make decisions amid uncertainty. Each takes a return on investment driven approach to evaluating emerging technologies, notably AI in our case. Our executives have to balance promise with risk. They need to reject this public hype for adoption, and instead they prefer investments that align with their organizational goals. At their enterprise level, they're breaking down their siloed business structures, improving effectiveness, and reducing costs. They must also make choices that influence not only the sustainability of their businesses, but the quality of the product. So, regardless of industry, be it aerospace, education, or healthcare, The strategic mindset of technology executives is consistent. Invest where technology meaningfully improves your business models and the end customer experience.